The other big picture I think here to look at is there's no reason to rush. Sometimes people, startups, and founders get a little bit edgy about losing market share and having to catch up, and they think they're in a race with a competitor. When in fact, you have to actually really assess where the race is. The race we're talking about here is car ownership versus non-car ownership. It's not a self-driving race. So let's just pause and understand the game you're in. There's a really interesting concept of finite games versus endless games, right? Finite versus endless. A finite game, there's a winner and a loser, right? And you play and it's miserable and you don't enjoy it until after it's over and you've either won or lost. And when you win or lose, then you have, this moment in time where you feel great. And then, afterwards it kind of sucks. Other games like, when I go skiing is an endless open-ended game. It's not a finite game. I can ski many different mountains around the world. I'm not skiing against anybody. And it's the enjoyment of the game. Here, if you think you're in a race, it's going to be miserable. If you're, it's Waymo versus Uber and Lyft, or Waymo and Uber versus Tesla versus Zoox. What you're really in a race here in this infinite game is car ownership. And in that way, everybody's on the same team. Zoox, Uber, Lyft, Tesla, they're actually all on the same team. And right now, that team has 1 point. The other team has 99 points. So now we get into the finite game. It's an infinite game. People can take an infinite number of rides and will if the price keeps going down. Sure. So if you frame it like that, then it's car ownership. And Tesla becomes a very interesting company, right? Because they are still selling cars. So car ownership matters to them, but they also see the future and they're disrupting themselves. So now you get to the concept of the innovator's dilemma. The more successful Tesla is, the more people need to buy their cars. So one side of their business, the balance sheet of buying cars with young people, might go down because riding in cars is going up, riding and ride sharing. I think we're going to get to 20% of rides will be done in a RoboTaxi, a Zoox, a Waymo, an Uber, a Volkswagen, a Tesla within 10 to 15 years. I think it could be 20% of rides. And if that happens, that means you need much less cars. Many fewer cars will be needed. Many fewer will need to be produced, which means that on an environmental basis, I think we make 70 million cars a year globally. And I'm pretty sure, it was a good job for producer Flood. I'm pretty sure, Toyota and Volkswagen are, your main players there, and the Chinese are coming on strong. I think they're exporting about 5 million cars a year now, which
94 million cars made per year as of 2024.
Okay, great. Yeah, wow. I have old data. It was 70 million was my old number. So yeah, let's call it we're getting close to 100 million cars a year. You for each percentage point of ride sharing, you're talking about 10 million cars. It's going to be a lot of cars need to be dedicated to this, but at some point there are enough. So if we all of a sudden could redirect all 100 million towards ride sharing, I think it would be the end of car ownership, but we can't. There'll probably be 1 million or 2 million of these created per year out of that 100 million. And then it will get to 3 or 4 and 5 and 6 million per year. And we'll be off to the races. Volkswagen made an announcement last week that they're going to sell ID buses with full self-driving to anybody who wants to buy them. This is a real shot across the bow of Tesla and the entire industry. And then Waymo announced that they're giving their software to Toyota. And you'll be able to buy a Toyota RoboTaxi. So now you'll have really 3 players you can commercially buy as a consumer a self-driving car from. So you could own it and sleep in it. Very interesting how this chessboard's going to go. But again, the great part about this game is everybody who is on the side of non-car ownership has an opportunity to win big.